Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Raven. So, originally I was going to do this video to clear the air on everything that's going on between me and Fred. So, the other day, on Wednesday, we had a huge blowout. That was the day that we kind of broke up. That day, everything just escalated. It went from just, him pounding on my door and demanding the iPhone back, which, we can all agree that's a little petty, but whatever, hear me out. To him calling the cops on me and me and him just arguing. And we sort of just left it right then and there. Then I proved it to the police that, that iPhone is indeed mine. I have proof of ownership. And so, everything just kind of ended right then and there. He left and that was that. Right after that day, I'm not going to lie, I think this was shock that set in. And it made me kind of happy, calm, and I was overly confident on that particular day. I was overly confident. And things were just racing. My mind was just racing and just, I was just kind of just chilling. So, and then on that same night, when I went to bed, I've been doing this, since my 25th birthday. And I did it a little bit before, but I'm making it a goal to just every night just pray. Whether it's verbally to God, me saying it, out loud, or just me in silence, either way, as long as you do this, you're giving the message to God. So, that same night, I went to bed and I prayed to God and I told him, thank you for opening my eyes and showing me the true colors of people that are in my circle. That was my birthday wish. I can now say that because when I blew out the candle, my wish was to see everybody's truest colors, because a couple weeks before, I had discovered something that still is devastating me to this day. It's a very, very heavy thing, heavy thing that I have to process and get through, which this is going to come up later in the video as well. So anyway, back to the whole situation. So, on that same night, I prayed to God. And on that same night, I did, say, I wish, nothing but the best on Fred and, just good luck to him. And on that same night, I did tell God to just, I'm going to let him work on my love life and my romance life. Let the universe do that for me. Because I wasn't really going to look. I had no business, just no interest after that. And I was just going to let the universe do that for me, Really, I was just going to shift the whole focus on me. That's what I was really going to do. So, and then on that same prayer, I prayed to God to help me with, my health. And, help me with my health, help me with my jobs, help me with, finances and stuff like that. And so far, he has really looked out for me on that one. This is why you should really pray to God and be on the right side of God. Because when you believe in Jesus and you believe in God and Mary, things will go right for you. Along the path, some things will break your heart, but it also open your eyes. Like, it's gonna shatter you, but it's also gonna fix your vision. You get what I mean? So, basically the whole prayer that I did was I asked God to work on my love life. Just, he does that while I focus on other things. And, he can help me guide in that same path and on that same path of righteousness. Now, after that, I did my cross and I said amen. But then I went to sleep, and then 40 minutes later, I just couldn't sleep. Like, I just kept tossing and turning. I just kept having visions and dreams. And these particular dreams were the greatest memories I had with Fred. From our time being as freshman year in high school to even now, the greatest moments we've ever had. And sure, along the way, you got to think this is an 11-year gap. This is 11 years right here that I potentially was just going to let go. And he was also going to let go as well. Now, I just kept dreaming about that. And then when it came towards the end, his words in my head just kept replaying. Like some bittersweet words that he did say, and then some really hurtful ones as well. And me, as a surprisingly patient person and a passionate, believe it or not, I'm a passionate lover. It's just in me. I guess it's just me. I don't know. But I woke up that next morning and I just felt like shit. I just felt really terrible. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering, because in all actuality, I'm pissed off, not about this particular situation, but another situation that I'll get into later on. But I just need to take this moment to clear the air a little bit. So that next morning, I woke up and I just felt terrible. I just felt really bad. I was depressed. I was just like angry, sad, depressed, everything you can think of. And I couldn't even keep it together at both my jobs. I couldn't keep it together. Like, I did my best to put on this facade because, 9 times out of 10, I'm really good at hiding my emotions, and I really don't talk about them, mind you. But when they start to overwhelm me, I really do start to show it, and I end up starting to pour it out. Because when you hold all that pain inside, it actually makes you crazier. It just makes you lose your mind. It makes you more angrier and more cranky. But when you let it out, you actually become a stronger person at the end of the day. You become much stronger than you really realize. Now, I couldn't keep it together the rest of the day. And, it got to where my coworkers at my second job started to notice that I was upset. And they had talked about something that brought up the subject of relationships and dating and stuff like that. And I couldn't take it no more. I had to kind of just blur it out. They all said, "We're sorry to hear that. We're here for you. If you need to talk to somebody, we're here." Stuff like that. Same thing, my friends told me the exact same thing. Because they all saw it coming. They all saw the video that I made. And speaking of video, it's no longer up there. I took it down. But I had to take it down for a lot of reasons. Not just for publicity and legal stuff, but also just to kind of clear the air. And I'll get into another reason why in just a moment. But when I got home that day, I just kept texting, one of his roommates, which, I've took in as my friend. So I kept texting one of his roommates. And I was telling, them about how I really feel and I need someone to talk to. And finally, when I got home, I texted that roommate, "Hey, is it cool that we talk?" The roommate calls me and we ended up talking, and this roommate told me that he was in his bed all day. He was crying. He didn't sleep. He barely ate. He didn't even really do anything. And I guess right around that same time, he went out to go check the mail while the roommate stayed behind. And I told the roommate, I blocked him on everything, but I basically told the roommate how really difficult it is for me to let go of 11 years of this special bond me and him really have. And the bond that we have, it's very unique. I believe in one of the videos I've explained it. I'm not sure. I'll have to look back. But the thing about Fred and me is that believe it or not, this is going to kind of come to a surprise to a lot of you, but he actually gets me. He fully understands me, even though during our argument I accused him of not understanding me, which I take back, by the way. But in reality, he does actually deeply understand me. He actually knows me better than even I know myself. And that's a lot to say. He knows me a lot better than even my best friend does. Mind you, with her, I've got 17 years? I've been so stressed out I can't even keep track. He knows me better than what my family knows, which I'll get into later into the video as well. But needless to say, I have to admit that I was just bawling. I just kept crying and sobbing to where I was about to get sick. And this roommate told me to just calm down and go to the restroom and splash some cool water on your face. To which I did. And I said, okay. And the roommate said that they'd call me back when he gets back. I said, okay. Not long after that, the roommate calls me, and the roommate convinces Fred to have a heart-to-heart conversation with me. And I kept crying. I was just really, really upset. It actually, in a slight way, hurt me to hear his voice again, but at the same time, it did feel good. Kind of weird. I can't really explain it, but, it's how I really felt. That conversation me and him had, I'm not going to go word for word, but I am going to specifically and detailingly explain how it went. It went emotional. It went pretty deep, very, very, very specific and very deep. This is probably the most very civil conversation we've ever had in our entire life that we've known each other. It actually felt really good to have that conversation with him. It felt good to just clear the air and talk, really talk about how the whole thing went down, why it went down, and what the whole thing is. I told him how I felt. He told me how he felt. I told him why those words hurt me, and he told me why he said what he said. So, I know a lot of you are like, why did you want to talk to him? To be honest with you, my mind and my heart was set on just memories that I'd have to let go. And my brain actually didn't want to talk to him. My heart, was breaking and was just saying and I quote, I was thinking I was never enough. I was just thinking that I'm never going to be enough for anybody. I was really depressed. But my gut told me, hear what he has to say. Just listen to him. Really take in everything. And the thing is that your gut feelings never lie to you. Just like how my gut feeling told me about my birthday. So, since then, I decided this time I'm going to actually grow a brain, be smart, and listen to my gut. So, I decided to take our entire conversation and just hear what he has to say. Now, I won't tell you what he said that broke me, because that was very personal. That's between me and him. But he did explain to me that what he said to me was not to embarrass me, not to hurt me, not to make me mad or upset, sad, nothing. It was really out of his way of communicating with me and trying to help me out, much in the same way I'd help him out. So, for example, a long time ago, he told me about the haircut that he wanted to get. And I was brutally honest with him and told him that haircut would just look completely ridiculous on you. And on that one, I was pretty mean about it. So I am sorry about that. I was like pretty mean about it. Like I was a bit harsh. So, but a haircut and a personal matter are two completely different things. However, they do consist on one thing that is common. It's physical appearance. It's physical form. Now, when he told me that his intention wasn't to embarrass me, but rather to help me, I kind of explained to him that me as a woman and me as a receiver, from what you said, I didn't take it as you being helpful. I actually took it as like an insult. And it actually made me think that he was going to leave me because of that matter. After all that I've really done for him. And when I first heard it, I didn't take it as helpful. I took it as like a huge insult. And I told him that the reason why it made me feel embarrassed is because us women take pride in how we care for ourselves in that department. That's what makes us very confident. That makes us who we are. A lot of people would think it's the hair or the makeup, whatever. For me, you know me. I don't wear makeup unless if it's a special occasion or whatever. And speaking of makeup, let me take time to say this real quick. On October 31st, which is Halloween, I have a special where I will be dressed up in a costume and I will be wearing makeup. But the thing about me and this character is the character physically, materialistic wise, don't look like me. But I've been complimented a lot that if you look at me at a certain angle, I do look like this character. And the character I'm talking about is Tiffany from Bride of Chucky. So I took it apart that this year I'm going to be Tiffany of Bride and Chucky. Only thing though is, you guys are going to think I'm ridiculous for doing this. You guys are going to think I'm freaking hilarious and stupid for this. But I at one point was going to really go out and bleach my hair to be blonde. But then I looked at myself in the mirror and I realized, Then I saw a lady at one of my jobs. She used to have jet black hair like I do, but then she bleached it blonde and I realized that's not a color for her. But I kept it to myself. Of course, I never told her. But yeah, I'm sorry. It did not look good on her. And then it made me realize, no, I'm just going to keep it black. I'm just going to keep my hair exactly the way it is. Because in the early parts of the movie, she did have blonde hair. Or, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen Chucky, so I don't know. I could be wrong, not be, I don't know. But I know in Bride of Chucky, she did have blonde hair, but I did see some dark roots. But then, in the next Chucky, where, Seed of Chucky, she did indeed have black hair. So, and even the doll form, when it first came to life, the doll did have black hair. But then when she was getting ready to get dressed, of course, now it's blonde. So for that matter, and I think for my health, I'm going to stick to this color. I'm not going to do blonde. I think that would just look completely ridiculous on me. So, but anyways, that's going to be a special coming up later in the month. So I'm going to be Tiffany. Okay. Now that's out of the way because I mentioned makeup. But yeah, just, what he said, I take personally because me as a woman, I take pride in how I care for myself. That's why, last month I had a cancer thing removed from that department, which I'm doing good. I'm healed. There's no chance of it reoccurring. So I'm really good in that department. And I'm glad that I caught it first stage. Because I don't know where it could lead to if I never got it checked. So, but yeah, I told him why it made me feel upset and how I didn't take it as being helpful. And when I told him, even though it was on the phone, but I felt it. On the phone, I could hear it in his voice and I could feel that energy. He was more remorseful. Like he really regretted it. He told me that he saw my video that I had up there and he watched the whole thing. he heard what I had to say, and he heard him in the background being exactly the way he was. And he said that he was truly sorry about it. Like, he was really, really, really sorry. And when I say he was sorry, I mean he was like, it was like one of those memes that he has, at this moment he knew he fucked up. And Fred, you did fuck up. So we talked a lot more, and I told him about the iPhone situation. I told him, you realize that iPhone is mine, right? Like, I have proof of ownership. And he says, I know. And he's more than willing to give it back to me because at the end of the day, it is still my phone. I said, well, let's meet up so you can give me that phone back. But then we got talking a little bit more about our relationship, and he told me about how he regrets the way he acted, and he just kept saying he was sorry. And I know what everybody's saying, don't let him say this, don't let him do that, don't do this, don't do that. Here's the thing, guys. You weren't in that same room as I was talking. You weren't there to hear our conversation. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. I know what he's saying. I know what's going on. I'm very aware of it. And there's a difference between a fake apology to where you're just getting what you want and a remorseful, deeply apologetic. And that's exactly what he was. He was remorseful. Now, I'm not going to lie. I told everybody that I didn't see the video that he did. I kind of did. I actually did. And I did see his receiving end. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually equally at fault here. So, there is a video of me really shouting, getting mad, and I did destroy my own iPhone by, I'm just going to say it. I don't care what happens. I'm just going to say it. I did toss it out, and it did shatter. It did break. I did, toss it out. And that's what ultimately led him to call the cops on me, because I don't know, he thought it was his property until I showed the proof that it is my property. So on that one, I didn't need to do that because it would have actually went as far as me being charged for assault with a battery. So, and that's a pretty heavy charge right there. And especially me working in the school district and working at a retail store. Yeah, that's going to ruin everything for me. That's going to like really, 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 really make me look bad. So, I'm glad it didn't escalate to that, but it could have. So on that one, that is actually my fault. So on that one, I am sorry for doing that. And I did apologize to him for doing that because, again, I am equally at fault here. He is at fault for the words he said and how he took things and how things escalated, whereas I'm at fault for, my reaction to everything, especially me destroying property and me being as loud and aggressive as I was because I was in like defense mode. So on that one, I am really sorry. I am. And if I didn't mean it, I wouldn't have even said it to begin with. So on that one, I do take responsibility on that one. I'm not going to cower away around the bush and act like I'm not doing anything. I did. It's pretty hard to deny it when there's evidence pointing back to you. So it is what it is. So we exchanged apologies, and he said, he would really wish to, have things continue our best ways, because he did tell me that, I am the best girlfriend he's ever had. And I'm not gonna lie, Fred does say a lot of hurtful things, but he's actually not a bad guy. Because there's one thing I can give him is that he is loyal to a fault. I know for the fact that he's never cheated on me. And I know that he's loyal and faithful to me. So on that one, I give him big credit for it. So that's why I'm kind of like still kind of keeping him around, because at least he never went behind my back on it. Because if he did cheat on me, oh, that's a done deal. That's done. That's over. That's like easy right there. So on that one, I give him big time credit for it. Another thing I give him big credit for is saying he's going to return the iPhone to me because it is my property. That's another thing I give him big props for. I said, well, I deleted everything, so I need help setting it up. He said, no problem. I'll help you set it up. So I even give him more credit for that one. Now, because he was all apologetic and offered to give me back the iPhone and set it up for me, we talked about, what we're going to do in regards to our relationship. Now, he said he was sorry, and I can tell that he feels bad about it. We started talking about what special bond me and him have, and what years we have, and what great memories we have. I talked about that too. I went back and forth about it. And I'm not going to lie, I'm already trying to let go of 24 years of lies that I discovered. I got to add 11 years on top of it. That makes it like 35 years. I'm not even 35. I think that was just too much for me to take in. So I needed a moment to really think about it. And then quickly I decided to I offered him a chance to, explain himself a little bit more. I told him, if I were to give you a second chance at this whole thing, what's going to happen? Like, if I decide to even do that, let alone keep you in my circle. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be friends with your exes. That's just going to create too much drama. I mean, if you want to, go right ahead, but, that's just your business, but if me and Fred were to officially break up and we do decide to stay friends, yeah, I would stay friends with him. In that case, I would. Any of my other exes, no fucking way. Oh, no way. No way. Not at all. But Fred is an exception. Fred's actually a good exception. So I gave him a chance to tell me what would happen if I gave him a second chance. And he told me what would happen. He told me that he'll be a lot better at, if he wants to say something to me, to sit me down and gently tell me how we're going to approach situations in regards to whatever it is that we want to confront each other over, vice versa. I agree that I think that is the best way to handle it, because we didn't handle it like that the last few times. So I agree that if you want to confront your partner about something like this, just sit them down, gently talk it over, and, they will react the way they react. But I think if you do give it to them a little easy, I think it'll go good. So on that one, I do agree with. I agree. And he told me amongst other stuff as well. And that one I won't get into. That is kind of something between me and him. So on that one, because I gave him a chance to explain, and it makes a lot of sense. Because if I gave him a chance to explain and it made no sense, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd end it right there. So, but I gave him a chance to explain, and he showed me this vulnerable side of him that I've never seen before. Even though it was on the phone, I felt like I saw it. Even though I'm here and he's way over there. I just felt like I saw it, and I felt it. Like, I really, really felt it. I'm like, wow, he really genuinely is really regretting this. And my mind, my mind is like, I believe him. I don't know why, but I do. My heart is just like, it's still shattered, But it felt like it was starting to pick up the pieces. And it's like trying to find the glue. My gut was telling me he's telling the truth. And I went with my gut on it as well. I believe him. And I really, really do. And I know a lot of you are thinking, what the hell are you thinking? What the hell are you doing? Here's the thing, everybody. The one that's probably going to tell me and probably going to give me hell over it, I don't care. You weren't in this room to hear what this man said. You weren't here to feel my emotions. You weren't there. Like, even if I did actually stretch it out and really try to detail everything about the whole thing, a whole entire conversation that we had, I don't think any of you would really understand. I understand him completely. And he understood me completely. Like, we really had a very special conversation. It was very civil. It was very mature. Like something I've never, ever even heard before. You don't even see shit like that in the movies. Like in the movies, when people come back together and talk things out, it's like just this stupid, weird little rom-com. No, this one was real. This was real. His genuine feelings were real. I felt it. And with that, just to kind of make everything quick, I told him, I'm willing to give you another chance because at the end of the day, he still never cheated on me. He's always been loyal. He's always been faithful. I know that for the fact. I know. Because I've been cheated on before, and I could spot a cheater from a mile away. If I knew he was going to cheat on me, no way. We wouldn't even be talking about this right now. So, another reason why I'm deciding to give him a second chance is because in this case scenario, he did apologize. He's giving me back the iPhone. He's helping me set it up. And I believe in return, he's also going to be passionate and show how much he truly cares about me. Speaking of care, I didn't know this, but his roommate told me that he actually really loves me so much that when I was first diagnosed with cancer, he didn't sleep for the days leading up to my biopsy because, he already has it out there, so I hope it's okay I mention it. He did lose his mother to cancer. I think it was like stage 4. And he lost his mom at, I think it was 19 years old. I'm sorry, Fred. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But I know you were really young. That alone will fuck anybody up. Losing your mother at such a young age, especially a mother that was so good to you. A mother that genuinely cared about you. That's enough to fuck anybody up. On top of it, you lost your best friend, much in the same way I lost my best friend. And then barely a year ago, you lost your grandmother a day before my birthday. So you've been through some shit. So on that one, I understand why you do the things you do and why you act the way you act and why you say the things you say. So I understand. I have no hard feelings against that. That's enough to fuck anybody up. So I'm generally really sorry that these things really happened to you. And it's just something that is a huge, huge scar. The type of scar that nobody really sees. So on that one, I got no hard feelings against you on this one. And I know you were sorry about your words. Now, I understand that these things that I've listed, I understand, it doesn't excuse your behavior and your words. And you even said that too. He said that. He said, and I quote, that he said, I lost my mother, I lost my best friend, and I lost my grandmother. And even though, because of the people I lost that were so close to me, I act the way I act and I say the way I say. But I understand it doesn't excuse my behavior and my words. When he said that, oh my God, I just can't believe this man was actually opening up and showing me that vulnerable side. And when men do that to you, that says 1,000 words. On that one, like, I realized I can't let this one go. He's showing me his vulnerable side. And when a man shows you that, you have to be very gentle and you have to actually respect that. So on that one, I truly respect him on that one. So with that, I know everybody's going to give me hell for it. I don't care. I feel like that one song, Bleeding Love, in the part of the chorus where she says, I don't care what they say, I'm in love with you. They tried to pull me away, but they don't know the truth. That's actually how I feel. Everybody over this side of my life, you know, friends, I would try my best to explain to you guys how everything went and why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I don't think any of you would really understand. This is really my decision. And I will let the universe and I will let God, you know, write my love story, write my romance story. I will let him figure that out. I will let him deal with that. But Fred, now I'm giving him a second chance. Because, again, not only I'm equally at fault for my actions and my behavior, he genuinely cares. And he was very remorseful about his words and actions. I have to give him that credit. And when he openly admitted that he has no excuse for that behavior and is not going to give a reason because he knows he has no reason to do what he did and is not going to offer an excuse, that just really blew me away. Like, wow, I'm actually really feeling this man. And my gut told me, told you, you really should have heard him out. And I did. I heard him out. I'm glad that I did. I'm actually glad we had that conversation. I'm going to remember this conversation for the rest of my life. So, Fred, I know you're watching. Can't wait to see you soon. Not only to get that iPhone back, but to really reconnect that special bond we have. So again, I'm sorry for my actions, and I know you're sorry for your actions. So thanks for hearing me out on that situation, everybody. I already know this video is like really long, so I'm just going to skip the whole trying to explain the 24-year-long lie. I'm just going to skip that. I'm just going to go ahead and end the video because I'm really tired. I'm exhausted. You can hear it in my voice. I'm dehydrated. I need something to drink. So I'm just going to quickly edit this video, get this out there, get this released. Some other time, I'll tell you all the story about this lie that I'm still trying to get over. So I just needed to get that out there. I just needed to clear the air out because I feel like everybody deserves an update on that one. And I promise you, I will be more active on this YouTube channel. I've got plenty of things to update you guys on. I got plenty of things to talk about, plenty of things to show you guys. So with that, I love you all. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.